Hello, it's Ariel from Ariel Sims, and I am here with the furnishing of a Windenburg Town Center family home. I decided to kind of redo the kitchen and the dining room, so this furnishing video starts with what is the library, which I'm so excited about. I had like a spare room on the side and I didn't really know what to do with it, and then I decided to create a library, which my dream would be to have a house with a library in it. I love reading, and I don't know, it's like always nice when you're reading to be able to look outside, so to kind of have, I don't know, like I view this room as almost like an enclosed porch, even though there aren't really the windows to substantiate that assessment of the room. I don't know why I'm getting like so, I don't know, like technical, scholarly. I don't know. I'm being weird. But yeah, I kind of view that as like a room that was once a porch and then was enclosed, and so I turned it into a library, and there's flowers and comfy seating. You could sit on like the ottoman in between the two bookshelves and just relax. And yeah, I just really love that room. But anyway, what I wanted to say when I first started this video is that when I first furnished the home, I didn't really like the way the kitchen came out, so I ended up redoing it, and in order to cut the footage so that it wouldn't look like strange, even though it still looks a little bit strange, but in order to do that, I had to cut out the portion where I built the first kitchen and dining room and entry hall. So in this video, you'll get footage of me redoing the kitchen, and it's open to the dining room, so you'll be able to see the dining room, but you won't see me furnishing the dining room, which, to be honest, there's like 7 items in there. It's not a big deal that you miss it, but yeah, I'm sorry about that. I will try not to build really bad kitchens ever again so that I have to do this. But yeah, this is a huge home. I view it as a large family home in a town center, and it's for a relatively wealthy family. So there's, I think, 4 bedrooms. I furnished 2 of the kids' bedrooms and the master bedroom, but did not furnish the 3rd guest bedroom, I guess you would say. So I left that blank, and if people want to furnish it when they download this house, they can do so, because I think I've said this before, but I feel like kids' rooms are the rooms that you really want to customize the most in this game. So you kind of have free reign if you download it. But yeah, this is the kitchen. This is my 2nd attempt at the kitchen, and what I did is there had been a closet in a little nook that I turned into a coffee nook, but there had been one of the walk-in closets there, and so I took that out and it opened up half the kitchen so that it was much bigger and it could fit more stuff. And I really like the way that this kitchen came out a lot better than the first kitchen. The first kitchen was really, really narrow. It turns into kind of like a school nook, like where your kids could sit and do their homework. But yeah, it was just really narrow. I didn't really like it, and I do like this version of the kitchen much better. I'm having a lot of trouble talking today. I don't know why. I swear that I do talk. This is something that I've practiced for nearly 26 years now, but yeah. Anyway, so I went with the kind of dark brown, cool kitchen stuff cabinets, just because I like the way they look. And I built like, so where I just put the trash can, that area is going to end up changing a little bit, but I do turn it into a coffee nook, mostly because when you have the coffee machine, or I guess it's probably called the espresso machine, I'm not really sure, but when you have that machine in your game, you need to also have the coffee grinder, and I have this little banquette over there, and I didn't feel like filling it with coffee stuff, but I also didn't want to put the appliances to make coffee in separate parts of the kitchen, because then your sim just has to walk across the kitchen, and it'll probably take them like 2 sim hours to do that, because, you know, in The Sims, your sims never do anything in a very timely manner. But yeah, I turned that into a coffee nook, which I would also love to have in my house. I'm a big fan of coffee, and I'm only allowed to have 1 cup of coffee per day now, because I have a relatively fast heartbeat. And so my doctor doesn't want me drinking too much coffee because that can also speed up your heart. So I'm limited in my coffee intake now, but if I could just drink coffee all day long, I would. I'm addicted, it's not a good thing. But yeah, I was just adding in some clutter to the kitchen, and I did include like this little dish rack thing, which I never end up including in big homes because I always feel like, you know, you have a dishwasher and you wouldn't use that. But it's not true because it's not like you can put every single dish you own into a dishwasher. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like I don't put pots and pans and stuff into the dishwasher because I don't think you're supposed to. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, so it's perfectly reasonable to have a dish rack next to a sink. I just feel like you shouldn't. I think it's because growing up, my family, we had a dishwasher, and then we just had like kind of this towel that we put next to the sink that we put pots and pans on to dry. So we don't have a dish rack at my family's house. Now that I live in an apartment, I do have a dish rack and a dishwasher, which is actually really nice because my first few apartments did not have dishwashers and I hate washing dishes. So then I'd just like not cook for myself and then I'd spend a lot of money on buying takeout and that was bad. But yeah, now I have a dishwasher and everything is happy. Yeah, this is the dining room that unfortunately the footage of me furnishing the entire room is not included because I did not redo the dining room. But it's really kind of bland. I don't want to say bland, I think that probably sounds bad, but like it's not like it was that complicated to make. So yeah, you can just kind of see it here, and I feel like that's probably good enough. Like, you don't need to see me furnishing the whole thing. You already have 20 minutes of me furnishing an entire house. So yeah, I don't know, I was really frustrated by the curtains in there, so I kind of gave up and like didn't spend a lot of time on those. There are definite areas of this home where I think the furnishing wasn't going the way that I wanted it to go, and so I started to furnish more quickly, which is a good thing for you guys because you're not watching a video that's as long as it could be. But it's not really a good sign always on my part because that's when I don't pay as much attention to what I'm doing and I just kind of want to get it done. And that's just not really, I don't know, I mean, like, this game is something that I play for fun, so if I'm not enjoying doing something, I probably shouldn't do it. But I think with this house, the problem was that I loved the outside so much that I wanted to be absolutely perfect when doing the interior. And I always kind of hold myself to that standard where I just want to be perfect at everything I do. And that's not really reasonable. And so I think I should probably just make my peace with it, with this house, that not quite as perfect as I would like it to turn out, but I think it still turned out relatively nice. But yeah, as you can see in that area, like where the desk and stuff was, that was the kitchen before. So it was just way too small and way too narrow for a house of this size to have a kitchen like that. In the living room, I ended up making like a massive entertainment center, and I had a lot of problems trying to like do the cabinetry around the TV because I couldn't get things to match the way I wanted them to, and I tried to like do this thing on the top where I would finish it off with a shelf, which you'll see me doing right there. And the first shelf that I used didn't cover the top of the entire cabinet. So I was like, oh, I'm screwed. Like, I can't do anything about that because there's no way a shelf would fit over the top of the cabinet. Turns out I ended up changing the shelf eventually, and it covered the top of the cabinet perfectly. So my annoyance with that entertainment center was actually a much easier solution than I thought it would be. That looks so bad. Like, look at that. That looks so terrible. I can't believe I like tried to go with that look. Yeah, good. That's where I deleted everything. The lights behind the entertainment center, that's a little trick that I do just to add more lighting into a given area. This living room is a 2-story living room, so I put a lot of the lights on the second floor, and they don't carry, the light from those lamps doesn't carry down very well to the first floor. So I did end up having a battle where I added in some wall lighting, but I do try and use tricks like that where I hide lights behind objects in order to just increase the amount of lighting in a given area. I also had a lot of problems trying to decide what kind of couch I wanted to use. This house in general is not very cohesive in terms of like a streamlined style all throughout the house. It's not like it's all modern or it's all traditional, or, you know, there's like a little bit of difference in every room, and I try not to do that, but I think sometimes it's kind of fitting, because I know like a lot of people in real life, you end up kind of furnishing your home as you go, unless you're like really rich and can afford to buy everything all at once. So sometimes different rooms have different styles in your homes, and this home is definitely one of those types of homes. I had some issues trying to figure out which coffee table I wanted to use. I basically just had problems in this entire family room. Like, it was a struggle for me. But I think at the end, I do like the way it turned out. It's not like a style I myself, like the colors in this room aren't really what I would pick out for myself, but I think it does end up looking cohesive by the end. And yeah, I discovered this new houseplant that we got with Get Together that I just never noticed, which is that like bowl fern type of thing. I don't know. But I knew that I wanted to use it and I wasn't sure where, so I kind of stored it away in that corner, and then I was like, oh, I'll just put it on top of the entertainment center, which probably isn't really a good place to put a plant because watering it would be a pain in the you-know-what, but your Sims don't have to water their plants, so that's good. And then off the family room, this is my favorite part, I built a little playroom for the kids. So I got to include that toy castle, which I never include. Not even when I'm playing, because it's just kind of, like, big. It's too big. I don't know why they gave us such a big, like, dollhouse castle thing. But yeah, I included that because I had room to do so. And then I have these little toy shelves, which I put decorative toys on. I always feel like there's a ton of decorations for kids, and then I try and decorate something for kids, and I feel like there are far fewer items than I thought there was. It's a very, like, strange mix of feelings on the subject, but yeah. I took some of those toys, some of the, like, action figures, and sized them up and put them on the top shelf. I imagine if you move a family into this home, you might want to delete those, because I know I've done that before in homes that I've built just for fun, and my Sims always want to either play with them or put them away, and then they get frustrated and it cancels out a lot, and I don't know, it turns into kind of a little bit of an ordeal. So you might want to remove those, I don't know, you might want to leave them. Then I added in these curtains with the idea that, like, you could curtain off that room if you wanted to. Like, if the parents were having, like, a house party or something and they didn't want their guests to see all their kids' toys, they could just close the curtains. But I didn't want to close the room in with a door, so yeah, I used curtains, which was fun. And then for the bedrooms that I did furnish, I ended up doing a nursery for a little girl and then a boys' room for 2 boys, which the last home that I built in this series, I'm pretty sure it was the most recent one, also had 2 boys and a little girl. So in my next home, I'm not gonna do that. My next home is actually going to be a build for, like, a family that's just starting their family, so it's actually just a couple and they'll be expecting their first child, and I'm planning to have a budget for that home. So that should be interesting, because for some reason, recently, like, the cost of my homes have ballooned. Like, I used to have trouble reaching, like, 70K or something for a house, and now, like, all of my houses are, like, over 100,000 simoleons. I haven't even looked at how much this house costs. I'm sure it costs a lot, just because there's a lot of landscaping, a lot of, like, decoration on the outside, and then, like, that bed, the sunflower bed, is really expensive. So I'm sure this one's also pretty expensive, but whoops. Yeah, I'm gonna use a budget for my next build, so that'll be interesting. This room is a prime example of how I kind of got bored with furnishing and rushed through it. I think I could do better with master bedrooms, but I mean, like, I think this turns out fine on its own. I gave it a little bit of a sunflower theme based off the bed, and my thought process with this room was that the furniture doesn't all quite go together. Like, the parents in this home have spent money on everything but themselves. So their bedroom furniture is probably old, and it's what they had when they were, like, first starting out, and they had to add pieces as they went, and so not all of the furniture in their master bedroom matches. Really, that's just an excuse for me wanting to include items and the items not matching perfectly, because in The Sims 4, we can't customize styles and so much of the stuff doesn't match. But yeah, that's my backstory to go with it, is the parents just have never spent money on themselves. The little girl's nursery, I do like the way that this one turned out. I kind of went matchy-matchy in that I used a lot of items that came together in the movie Hangout stuff pack, but I just like those items, so I decided to use them together. Yeah, those, like, that painting collage, I love it. I love that we got 2 painting collages in movie Hangout stuff, and, like, the curtains that we got. I'm in love with those curtains, too. But yeah, I could have been more creative, I guess, with this nursery, but I just really like it. I think it's really sweet and, like, cute for a little girl. And then this was the little boy's room, and I wanted to use a bold color on the walls, so I was trying to play off that color a little bit, and went with kind of a blue and orange theme. It's a color combination that I've really gotten into recently, is blue and orange together. So yeah, I think that's fun. And, fun fact, one of my brothers, his room growing up was blue and orange. So yeah, I don't know if maybe, like, that subtly was like, oh, you should put these colors together for the boys. But yeah, I don't know. I like the way that both of the kids' bedrooms turned out. I think they were fun. And I didn't put too many toys in their bedrooms because there is the kids' playroom downstairs. And your kids end up spending a lot of time doing homework. So yeah, they're busy. They have to do their homework. In the master bathroom, I wanted to do, like, a fun pattern with the tiles that we got. Like, it's kind of like a mosaic from Get Together, and so I went with, like, a chevron style. And I don't know that it necessarily works, like, perfectly, but I just thought it was a fun thing to do and I wanted to do it. So I kept the rest of the bathroom very bland, because I think if you have a loud design on the floor, you don't want to clash by having too much color or a loud kind of... I don't know, like, you could choose so many color options for counters, and I took a long time trying to figure out what counter combination I wanted, because I didn't want to clash too much with the floor, and the window is brown, which is really unfortunate. I wish that the white would have looked good on the outside, but it didn't. Just because, I don't know, like, then I had to work with the brown too. It just added another color that I had to work with. I also only have one sink in there because realistically, your Sims only need one sink, and I don't know, I didn't really have room for a second one. I didn't want it to look too cluttered, so yeah. And then the kids' bathroom, I just kept very simple. I went with a white, black, and yellow theme in there, but there's only a few yellow accents, mostly because the room is not that big. I do love those flowers that we got with the cool kitchen stuff. what's interesting, I think, is I love, like, the stuff packs we got. Well, that's not true. I love the stuff packs that I chose to download. I really like Spa Day, Movie Hangout stuff, and Cool Kitchen stuff. And I think I could probably do without the rest of the, like, game pack stuff packs, even though I have the other ones, except for the holiday themed ones. I don't have those. But I do have, like, all the others. It's just I think the best stuff for me in terms of furnishing came with the Cool Kitchen, Movie Hangout, and Spa Day. But yeah, anyways, just putting finishing touches on the upstairs hallway at this point. And that's pretty much it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to like this video if you did, and while you're at it, you might as well just subscribe. All it takes is one click, so pretty easy to do. But anyway, I will be back soon with another video, and I hope you have a great day.